today's the day. It's now all up to the voters. After one of the wildest campaign seasons ever, more than 130 Americans will decide today who will lead our country and become the 45th president of our nation. Will it be Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton? We'll have more on that in a full report in just a few minutes.
But first, the hotly contested race here in North Carolina is the governor election. Will voters re-elect Governor Pat McCrory, or will he lose his seat to challenger Attorney General Roy Cooper?
We have live team coverage of that race. Zora Stevenson live in Raleigh with Governor Pat McCrory's camp, and Kelly Byrne is also live in Raleigh with the Democratic Party. We begin first, though, with Zora.
For almost 4 years, Governor Pat McCrory has led the Tar Heel State. Now it's time for the state's residents to decide. Does he get to continue his work, or does somebody else get a shot at the governor's seat? Republicans here say they're cautiously optimistic. Previous polls show these two candidates neck and neck, so there's no telling what the results will show. But here at the watch party, Governor McCrory's watch party, the mood is calm. Republicans must wait anxiously, but they say they're hopeful their leader will stay in the governor's mansion.
Our experience speaks for itself, and I think North Carolina's appreciate that common sense takeaway, and they don't want something worse. They want to continue this economic growth, and they're ready for 4 more years of that, and that's what I'm excited and we will hopefully see tonight.
A big talker in the governor's race, House Bill 2, the controversial law that forces transgenders to use a bathroom that corresponds with the gender on their birth certificate. We asked Mueller about the effects of that bill on this election. She says certain things impact families, and HB 2 is not one of them. We won't know the full impact of HB 2 till all the results come in. Again, polls still have a couple more hours, and it takes a while for everything to be counted. In the meantime, Republicans must wait anxiously to find out who the leader of North Carolina will be. Live in Raleigh, Zora Stevenson, 9 on your side.
All right, thank you, Zora. Attorney General Roy Cooper is hoping to unseat incumbent Governor Pat McCrory tonight. Cooper is also holding a watch party in Raleigh. WNCT's Kelly Byrne is live in Wake County with the latest. Kelly.
Yeah, Angela, I'm at the Democratic Watch Party at the Marriott City Center. Now, preparations are underway behind me, and for what's expected to be a big night and bring in a big crowd. Now, of course, all eyes are on North Carolina through the nation for the presidential election, but folks here are really focused on the state election. The big one, of course, the governor's race. Attorney General Roy Cooper is challenging incumbent Governor Pat McCrory. A recent poll show the race is too close to call right now, but many who are here for tonight's watch party say they're optimistic Cooper will win.
Obviously, it's a competitive race, and we're expecting to be tight. Every vote's going to count, but we feel really good. Yeah, you know, we've had consistent leads in the polls, and we think that our voters are coming out, and we look forward to seeing the results come in at 7:30.
Another big race is for the North Carolina U.S. Senate seat. Democrat Deborah Ross is contesting Senator Richard Burr, who's held the seat since 2005. President Barack Obama has endorsed both Deborah Ross and Roy Cooper, but for now, it's just the waiting game before the polls close at 7:30. Of course, we'll bring you updates throughout election night. Live in Raleigh, Kelly Byrne, 9 on your side.
Thank you, Kelly. Now to the race the whole nation is watching. Who will be president of the United States? Voters stood in long lines across the nation today waiting to cast their ballots. As CBS's Craig Boswell reports, many are glad this divisive campaign between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton is coming to an end.
Supporters mobbed Hillary Clinton and her husband, former President Bill Clinton, as they filled out their ballots in their hometown of Chappaqua, New York. She greeted voters waiting outside and said she feels humbled.
I know how much responsibility goes with this, and so many people are counting on the outcome of this election.
Her running mate, Tim Kaine, got an even earlier start, casting his ballot at 6 a.m. in Richmond, Virginia. Donald Trump voted a few hours later in New York City.
It's looking very good. Right now it's looking very good.
Okay, here we go. His running mate, Mike Pence, voted shortly afterward in Indianapolis, Indiana. Based on a CBS News analysis, Hillary Clinton leads Donald Trump 214 to 186 in electoral votes. But a number of states remain up for grabs, and the outcome will likely depend on voter turnout. Trump got off to an early lead when the first voters cast ballots in some parts of New Hampshire just after midnight. Then in the early morning hours, there were long lines of voters from New York to California, from Maine to Miami.
I really definitely just think it's important for me to exercise my right to vote.
People's choice. All America is not like me.
While there were no perfect choices in this one, I feel like one candidate was clearly above and beyond the other.
Both Clinton and Trump plan to hold election night parties in New York City to watch the results. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Sterling, Virginia.
Federal officials are on alert today over the risk of potential terror threats. As a result, security was increased at polling sites across the country. The risk of a cyber attack is also a concern, so the Department of Homeland Security has set up a cyber command center. Experts are keeping a close eye on Russia, a country the U.S. has accused of trying to interfere with the U.S. election process. The former director of the NSA blames Russian President Vladimir Putin.
He is definitely trying to affect the American political process. I think he's trying to erode it. I think he's just happy enough to do what I said, just to be messing with our heads.
Putin denies those accusations, and because voting machines are not connected to the internet, U.S. officials say a cyber attack would not affect tonight's total votes.